Jai Shri friends, a few months back I had read a story from an article. Vikas had met his classmate Midun, whom he hadn't seen for about 30 years. They met in a hotel lobby. Midun looked simple as he wore a simple Ankara attire. Midun was glad to see Vikas, but Vikas was not impressed with his friend's status compared to his, and simply he couldn't hide that. They exchanged contact details and Vikas could see the joy in Midun as he collected his. Vikas told him he will drop him home in his brand new Range Rover and pointed it to him. However, Midun declined and said he had already called for his car. It looked old, a 2001 Honda Accord. Vikas invited Midun the next day for lunch at his house. Vikas recalls a part of me wanted to impress him, to show off my success and affluence to him, while another was to discuss opportunities and possibly help him. Midun drove to Park View where Vikas lived. He looked impressed with Vikas' home. Vikas had taken a heavy mortgage. In fact, Vikas was heavily in debt. They had lunch. Midun told Vikas he was into small business and particularly real estate. Vikas brought up more business discussions, but Midun didn't sound too interested. Instead, Midun said he was fine. Vikas even told him if he was interested he could help him secure some loans. Midun looked at Vikas and smiled. Midun told Vikas he would invite him over soon to his place. His old car came for him. Vikas thanked God for what he had. Fingers are not all equal, he thought to himself. He felt he was lucky to have a good job in a good place. 2 weeks later, Vikas went to see him in Ikeja with his wife. She was reluctant to go because she was not impressed with the man's status as to warrant their visiting him in his house. Anyhow, Vikas was able to convince her that they were close friends in college. They saw the estate, Vorola Estate. They asked for directions to his home. Those leading them spoke Midun's name with deference. It was a simple but lovely home, a 4-bedroom bungalow. Vikas saw 4 cars parked in front. They entered the home. It was simply elegant, with a touch of class inside. Midun welcomed them warmly. Lunch was well served. His wife called him Baba Varolla, which was Midun's last name. During lunch, Midun asked about his MD. Midun said they were friends. Vikas saw a company gift on one of the tables nearby. That company owned about 38% shares where Vikas worked. He inquired from him about it. Midun smiled. He told him he owned the company. He also owned the estate. Now, Vikas did not know when he called him a sir. He was in awe of him too. Vikas had learned a lesson in humility, a big one. Appearances are deceptive. Midun noticed his discomfort. Driving back home, Vikas was very quiet. His wife was humbled and extremely calm. He could perceive the thoughts in her mind. He looked at himself, living on loans, heavy loans, and showing off, while someone who pays his salary is quite modest and living a simple life. Indeed, deeper rivers flow in majestic silence. Jesus, perceiving the thoughts of their hearts, took a child and said, "Whoever receives this child in my name receives me. For whoever is lesser among you all, the same is greater."